Hello everyone, I'm Hugo and welcome to week 11 of the GeoGuessr Reddit League. This week we're playing in the Southeast Asian country of Malaysia. This is the last week before the playoff deciders, in which we're currently 4th in the 3rd division standings, so this week will be key on deciding who will play in the promotion playoffs. Sadly, I wasn't able to record my voice during the gameplay, but I decided to narrate over the video and give you my thought process while playing each map. Another thing that you might notice is that my internet was really laggy during the gameplay because I only had access to cellular data plan and not Wi-Fi. But I decided to play because I got between 20k to 24k points in some practice rounds with the same internet speed, so I decided to go ahead and just do it. So without further ado, let's go ahead with the first round. I'm just playing the video that I will record back to you, so I will try to give you the information as precisely as possible. So this is the first round. We got in a sort of suburban area of Malaysia. The first thing that I tried to do with the internet speed that I had was allow the pages to load, or the maps to load, and just read as much information as I could. I decided to go south on the street, just read some information that wasn't actually useful to get the city. This was some sort of industrial area, so I just decided to go back to the beginning because I reached a dead end, and I should have gone this way because I just find the information that I wanted in that area. I found Ipoh Perak. Now I remember that Perak was a province in Malaysia, but so I started looking for it in the map. I just read Perlis, Kedah, and just trying to look for Perak. And here just I reached the border to find exactly where Perak was. Well, so then my instinct was to find Ipoh, so probably Ipoh or Ipoh or Ipoh, however you pronounce it, was somewhere in Perak. So first I just put my marker in the middle just to hedge a little bit and just went looking for Ipoh in Perak. I just looked at some roads on the south, on the east, and here's where I started to getting worried because I wasn't able to find Ipoh anywhere on the map. Then I started to read some other information, maybe I could find something else. I remember I studied some words with Google Translate. For example, Kawasan means zone, so I wouldn't be baited that was the name of the city or something like that. So I knew that it was going to be just like a industrial zone or something like that. I just went looking, having Ipoh in my mind, I just went looking for more information. If you see me lag for some sense, it's because with the internet speed, the computer was not allowing me to click or wasn't responding to the first click on the map. So I just had to try again. Rumah konto dibuka, but that didn't give me any info. And with 40 seconds on the clock, I just tried to get as much info as I could. Pengedar Minyak. So with 20 seconds left, I just hedged in the middle of Perak. So maybe it was there because that was like the biggest place with Taiping. So I was deciding between those two while I was still looking for Ipoh in the map. Then I just went with it and left the clock decide where I was. And I happened to be 10 kilometers far from the place, which was in the north of that place. Actually, Ipoh, I'm still not sure what that meant. If you know, just leave it in the comments. But yeah, there it was. This was in round 2, more urban area, so this could have been easier and with a signal just right there. So I started reading everything again. Kawasan, Larangan, as I remember, Kawasan was the zone, so in which I'm located. Police, so that's maybe with police, and then I read Tegas on the far away place. Then Ibu Pejabat Police Contingent Terengganu, right? Ibu Pejabat Kuala Terengganu. Then I read Kuala Terengganu and just went to look for it in the map. At this point, I remember that Kuala Lumpur and Kuala Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, they were all kind of in the same place in mainland Malaysia, not in Borneo, so I just went looking for it, But I did check on Borneo, just in case it was there, actually. I just went looking for some other signs that could confirm that we were in Terengganu, or in Kuala Terengganu. Was it? I don't remember quite well. And their police done Masyakarat, but didn't give me much info to confirm the place. I just kept on reading some other stuff, and then I managed to get to this sign where I just read Terengganu again, so that confirmed that we were actually in Kuala Terengganu. At least it confirmed for me, which should have been clear from the beginning. So I started looking for Kuala Terengganu. I just went the other place, and there is where I read Terengganu on the map. It was in that type of font, so I somehow forgot that Terengganu was a province and was not just a city. So I just went with Kuala Terengganu and tried to look for the police station or something like that. At this point, I forgot the zone in which we were located at, so I just read that again, Kawasan Larangan, and started looking for that in the map. With 50 seconds on the clock, I just tried to confirm that we were actually there, and I started looking for Kawasan Larangan, but I was just reading the words Kampung on the map, which, as far as I know, means village or something like that. With 10 seconds on the clock, I tried to getting worried that I wasn't able to find it, but I was sure of the city, so I was going to get a good score nonetheless. So I hedged in the middle there, and I was actually there. It didn't register the last second click, but it doesn't matter. I was just 50 points or 51 points away from the location. Okay, so we were here in the third round in a rural area, which I suspected was going to be way more difficult than other places. So I just read the first time that I found, and it read Luar Kementerian Pembangunan Luar Bandar Malaysia. Perasu Galas, so that maybe was the place, Perasu Galas. And I started looking for it in the map. Maybe I would be able to find it, either Perasu or Galas. So I just went looking for more clues in the map, because that wasn't enough. In my mind, I was thinking that I need to get and then the map glitched for a second, and my internet started to misbehave for a couple of minutes, especially in this round. As I was saying, in my head I was thinking that I needed to get the province on the map, or at least a road number, because I hadn't seen neither of those places in practice rounds before. So I started looking for other signs or other maps that I could find, but nothing gave me enough information. And the same as last round, as previous rounds, the mouse wouldn't register the first click, and I had to click like multiple times for the map, for the computer to move. So I started going ahead, and the mouse, as I said before, wasn't registering as first because the internet was loading like very slowly, and it only would only click when the map would load at full speed. Then I found another sign, but it said the exact same thing, Perasu Galas, without any more info on the bottom, or any info that I could read. So with 1 minute left on the clock, I was getting actually worried that I wasn't going to be able to find the map, or to find the location in the map. So then I started to look, and the computer wouldn't click on the first or second click, and it was getting tiresome, because I tried to get info and the computer was misbehaving, wasn't able to find the correct information nowhere. It said Clinic, Cementerian, but I said I have to click somewhere. I just went over there to the south. I should have stayed more northern in the end, because I was way over to the north. It was in Kelantan actually, and I wasn't able to find the information. So this round was my downside. So another suburban area, and I tried not to reach for a dead end this time, because these types of roads usually make you get lost in the rounds. Sometimes the X's wouldn't appear on the map, so I had to click the arrows. I hope that now that I have Wi-Fi, I would be able to perform better. Or my computer would be able to perform better. That's what I mean. The first time that I read just some area codes, I wasn't able to study some area codes in Malaysia. Maybe that would have helped, especially in this round. So I tried to find an exit for a major highway. So there I reached a dead end. So I tried to go back a second. But to no avail, I wasn't able to find a place to go back to. So I just decided to just try to find it, because I needed to go out from this neighborhood in order, if I wanted to find any signs or any road numbers or something like that. And I just had like a little over 2 minutes left, and there I found what I needed. It said at the top, Mailis Daira Hulu Selangor. So remember that Selangor was actually a province. So I just started to look for the letterings, the gray letters, to find Selangor. And I just reached for the borders to find the correct place in Malaysia, or where the province was located. And there I found that Selangor was surrounding Kuala Lumpur. So it was actually Hulu Selangor. So I started to go around the neighborhood of the map to find out more info about some street numbers or something like that in Selangor. And finally I could reach a road. I don't know if it was a highway, but it's a road, and at the bottom I could read again Hulu Selangor. So it's maybe the place was called Hulu. Again, similar to the first round, I just put my marker on the middle of the province, just to be sure. And then I put it where the words Selangor were in the map, while I was looking for Hulu Selangor. I tried to read more info to see if I could find anything else, and just went again for the map with 20 seconds left. Again, this was going to be similar. I just find the words Selangor over there, so I just went with it. Like a village called Selangor. I don't know what it was, but I just stayed there while the map was loading, and I was trying to find Hulu again. I don't know if Hulu again was a place on the map, because the location ended up being Batang Kali on the map. I was a few kilometers away. And in the last round we got something that reminded me of a place that I had found on practice rounds, but I wasn't sure where to locate it, so my first instinct was to go and read some information in the signs. Then I read Selamat Datang, Sungai Tenggang, and that didn't strike me of anything. The same Tenggang. So I just went following this track to the east, and that was just a warning sign. So let's go follow this truck. At one point we might be able to find something. So again, the map was loading pretty slowly, so I was able to do not as quick as other players go, but this is all I could do for the time being. There I found another map, Simpang Ke Pantu. My intuition was to go as close to the place as possible. I knew I wasn't going to be able to find the correct place, because I reached this construction site, and which has this type of information, which works quite right. It read Sarawak, the state government of Sarawak. So I went to Sarawak in Borneo, and tried to look for some more information. It said Serian roundabout. So I tried to look for Serian in Sarawak. At this time I forgot to check on the road, on the road itself, the direction of the road, I mean, and there I found Serian on the map, down there. So I just hedged near Serian. I didn't know if I was north of Serian or south of Serian, or if that was that close to Serian or more far away. So with 30 seconds on the clock, I tried to look for more info on the roads. There I found Nkili, but I don't know if that was part of it. So I just went to check closer to Serian. I remember the word roundabout. Maybe the roundabout was already built here. So I just stayed to the north. And at the end, it happened to be way more to the south. So I got 19,000 points in this round, which was pretty disappointing considering that I had 24,000 points in another practice rounds and 22 or 20k in other practice rounds. But that's all I could do for now. So that's all for now. If you want to keep track on more GeoGuessr videos, just subscribe on the red button below, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.